So I did this thing where I sent out on social media that same question and asked people to respond. And so I'm going to show you. Some of them sent me photos. All right, so here's a photo of some waffles that have whipped cream. This was really a bad idea for me to do this before lunch. But at any rate, these are some waffles. And this was from Ella Glass. They were the best waffles from Bruges, Belgium. They were the bomb. Crispy, soft, perfectly sweet with a mount of whipped chantilly cream. And the street window was in the middle of the chocolate road, the one street in Bruges that sells chocolate pralines in every other store. And then there was this. This was some stir fry that our own Lucy Jordan put a photo up, and this is what she said. I ate this stir fry in Denmark, and it was the best because it reminded me of my childhood, I guess because of the flavor. And then, this one was amazing. I didn't have a photo for it, but Heather Petrozzini said, my mom made me a turkey sandwich for a field trip in 4th grade. I still think about that sandwich for real. And then this from Linda Duke, just caught fried crappie and fried potatoes with fresh green beans back in my camping days. And then we have a photo of Jonathan Slaughter and Amy Slaughter drinking from baby bottles, right? But this is why. So Le Refuge des Fondus in Paris in 2008, when we went, the plate was like 20 euro, everything included. They also served wine in baby bottles to avoid charging open container tariffs, supposedly. So what do all these things have in common? What do all those descriptions have in common? Well, first, it has the materiality of eating, right? There's the food itself. There's the thing that connects you to the moment. There's that visceral sort of physicality of it, right? And then there's the right moment. Like all of those things were connected to memories. All of those things were connected to nostalgia, or they were connected to incredible times spent with others. And when all of those things come together, it is eternal. It is eternal. It's a moment of eternity. It's what the gospel writers and the writers in the New Testament would have called kairos time, right? The time that's outside of our understanding of time. It's holy time. It's a moment when heaven meets earth, and you want it to last forever. And so today, what I want to do is I want to focus on this one idea. It's an idea that's connected to the story that we're about to dive into in the next part of the sermon, where Jesus eats with his disciples after he's been resurrected, and he appears to them in a moment when they begin to realize in a very visceral, sort of connected, up-close way that everything has changed, that resurrection has happened, and it's turned everything upside down. And so what I want us to hold on to today is this. Resurrection happens up close. It's not just an abstract idea stuck in a book. It's not something that happened. It happens all the time. From Luke chapter 24, and this is a post-resurrection moment. So this actually comes after there have been reports that Jesus has been raised from the dead, that he's walking around. And so this is where we pick up the story in verse 36. While they were still talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, "Peace be with you." That's kind of like, I love the way that the gospel writer just didn't even, there's like no drama. It's like they're talking about this and all of a sudden Jesus is there. And so, quite understandably, the next verse says, they were startled and frightened, thinking they saw a ghost. He said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do doubts rise in your minds? Look at my hands and my feet. It is I myself. Touch me and see. A ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you see I have." When he had said this, he showed them his hands and feet, and while they still did not believe it because of joy and amazement, he asked them, "Do you have anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate it in their presence. And he said to them, "This is what I told you while I was still with you. Everything must be fulfilled that is written about me in the law of Moses, the prophets, and the Psalms." Then he opened their minds so they could understand the scriptures. He told them, "This is what is written. The Messiah will suffer and rise from the dead on the third day. And repentance for the forgiveness of sins will be preached in his name to all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. You are witnesses of these things."